Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's episode 17 of PK's Place. I know it's been a while since I talked to everyone. I've just gotten busy with obviously university and then also sports starting, my season starting. I've gotten rather busy, so I would appreciate it if everyone just kind of bears with me as I do my best to get episodes and get content out there. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone tuning in whenever I put out episodes. It really means a lot to me. I hope everyone's week is been going well. And obviously, there's been a lot of things that have happened since I last chatted, especially in the sports world, especially with hockey, with what happened in the Chicago Blackhawks organization. And it definitely, for me, it definitely made me feel a certain way, especially being someone who's not only been living in that area for almost 10 years now at this point, but especially someone who watched those teams win championships back a decade ago. And especially if no one knows what I'm talking about the Brad Aldrich situation where he sexually assaulted Kyle Beach, who was a prospect in the system. And the whole story is disgusting. The whole story makes me feel really, really angry, and it makes me feel like I can't really support the Blackhawks as much because of the negligence in that situation. And to me, it just shows that if you're in a position of authority, you have to be ethical and you have to make the right call first and foremost. And that's obviously not that's not what happened in this situation. And as most people saw, it ended up costing Quenneville his job, Bowman, McIsaac, McDonough. It cost everyone their job, and that's one of the main things. And I just want to say, Kyle Beach, you're very brave for putting yourself out there and for actually having the courage to talk about it, because it's not easy. Let's be honest here. It's not easy to talk about things of that nature. So for you to speak out like that takes a lot of courage. And I just wanted to say that me and the rest of the hockey community, we're behind you, man. You have our support. So I wanted to obviously just get that out of the way. Also, I happened to go to the movies last week. I saw No Time to Die, which was the final version with Daniel Craig as James Bond. And for me, it was kind of interesting seeing it because when I was growing up was when Daniel Craig took over the role of James Bond. So he's been really the only Bond that I've had since I've been alive. Although I think there had been like a one or two of the final Brosnan films that had come out, which I've obviously seen all of them. So those came out. But for me, the vast majority of me growing up, it would been Daniel Craig. And I really like Daniel Craig as James Bond. I think he's one of my favorites. And I will say, talking about it, it was definitely way better than Spectre, although that wasn't hard. I thought Spectre was so disappointing when I saw it. And that was 6 years ago now. It's kind of crazy to think that it was that long ago. And yeah, Spectre was very disappointing. Although the opening song by Sam Smith, very, very good. Probably the best part of the movie, if you ask me. But this new movie is very entertaining. There's a sequence with Ana de Armas in it, who not only is she so gorgeous, but she kills it. It's probably my favorite part of the movie, even though she doesn't show up for that long. I think it's really good. And I actually do like the way it ended, especially for it being his last movie, and especially having the balls that it did. That's all I'm really going to say on it. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it too much because I think you should go see it. And then when I'm recording this, I believe I'm going to try to go see Dune, whether tonight or at some point. I want to go see it. And then obviously Marvel's The Eternals, the next Marvel movie comes out. So that'll probably be seen by yours truly as well. And obviously kind of in this intro portion of every episode when I kind of just talk about miscellaneous things before getting to the interview, I like to talk about those things, and I like to see, just talk about those things and talk about like kind of let the people know what I think about them. So definitely in the next few episodes, I'll be talking about those two movies for sure. Also, it was my birthday a few weeks ago, so I'm finally 21. I know it's crazy, but I had my dad fly in from Los Angeles. It was honestly just awesome to spend a lot of time with him. I hadn't seen him since I was in LA for that month that I was. So it'd been a few months, so it was very nice. Spent a lot of time together. I actually went to the Bruins and Sharks game that Sunday, and it was a lot of fun. It was cool to catch a game. It sucks about the Red Sox obviously losing, but it's kind of how it goes. So yeah, it was nice doing it. And another thing I have to get off my chest. So for those that don't know, you probably might, but if you don't, Mariah Carey released a video talking about how it's time to start playing Christmas music. But then she did kind of blue ball it by saying, no, we got to make it to Thanksgiving first. So props to you, Mariah Carey, for saying that. But I think if you're playing Christmas music right now, early November, and we haven't had Thanksgiving yet, please do yourself a favor and smash your iPhone right now. I'm serious. Like Christmas music should not be played before Thanksgiving. I'm serious. Let's be mature here and play it once Thanksgiving ends, because Black Friday is really the signal of the Christmas season, especially with the whole Black Friday shopping and basically just everything that comes with that. So I just think that if we can wait till then, that would be spectacular. But that's just what I think. You can obviously disagree if you would like. No hard feelings there. So, and I wanted to also key in today's interview is going to be with a good friend of mine. It's Egor Afanasyev, who is currently playing in the American League for the Milwaukee Admirals. He's in the Nashville Predators system. We chatted for a little over an hour. It was a good chat. I enjoyed talking with my boy Afan. I hadn't seen him in a while, so it was nice to catch up. Especially cool that he played in the KHL last year. So there's some interesting things talked about now that. And I think without further ado, we're going to send it to Egor Afanasyev. Okay, our next guest is a second-round pick in the NHL for the Nashville Predators, where he is currently playing in their farm system with Milwaukee. It's a good friend of mine, Egor Afanasyev. What's going on, my man?
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
No problem. So first off, like I said, you're in Milwaukee now. For those that haven't been to Milwaukee, how's your experience been early on, and what have some things you've liked about being in the city so far?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a great city. I stay here, I live with my girlfriend. We got an apartment. It's been great, It's hour and a half away from Chicago, and I think it kind of reminds me of mini Chicago, just obviously a little bit like probably older city, a little bit older buildings. But things have been great here. Also, we got Milwaukee Bucks right across our street, been amazing.
Yeah, for sure. That is actually a pretty good comparison, calling it a mini Chicago, as someone who has spent a good amount of time in the Chicago area. That's what a lot of people say. And even the more interesting thing is that not only you have, like you said, the Bucks, but you even have the Brewers that are, I would say from downtown, it's like 15 minutes away at their baseball field. And even interesting, it's cheaper than going to a Cubs game for sure. So I've gone to a few Brewer games that are actually a good time. But yeah, what's one thing that stood out to you about the city of Milwaukee that most people wouldn't realize?
I mean, first of all, how busy it gets, especially like on the weekend, street full up with people, and cops, like especially on the weekends, cops, put those things on the roads to
Barricades,
so like
yeah.
yeah, the barricades and stuff, so you can't drive in there, so everyone's safe and stuff. Like on the weekends, you know how it gets.
Hmm.
And I mean, yeah, just it was surprisingly like how many people outside. We had Halloween yesterday. Same thing. How many people in costumes are out on the streets? Pretty fun.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. How bumping was Milwaukee for Halloween weekend?
Yeah, it was great. So on Saturday night, actually, like I've started seeing people obviously like on the street with the costumes and stuff, because that's when we came from the road. We came like at 2 a.m. like Sunday morning from Grand Rapids, and that's when 2 3 a.m. It was pretty late. Seen people, some people like swerving on the roads and stuff. Like obviously not in the car, like swerving. I'm saying like walking with their group of people, everyone in costume. It seemed pretty fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 a.m., especially in Milwaukee, Halloween weekend. No, like party's still going on. They're probably going somewhere else, keeping it going.
Yeah, no one was even thinking to stop. Yeah, definitely.
No, what did you, since we're on the topic of Halloween, is when this is being taped, Halloween was yesterday. What did you dress up as for Halloween, and what did your girlfriend dress up as?
Yeah. So we did like obviously a couple costumes. So we did it like we went as a dead bride and groom.
No, that's good. What
So
how
yeah,
how did it compare to, because I did see and when we clip this we could put the photo on from Instagram, but you went with some of your teammates too. How did your costume compare to some of your teammates? And feel free, if you thought some of them were worse, you could say it.
yeah, definitely. No, I thought pretty much everyone did a good job. I mean, obviously with COVID, maybe they had some difficulties like ordering stuff online, or someone else's got delayed. But I mean, pretty much everyone's costumes I liked, especially guys who went as a couple. Because when you go as a couple, I feel like it's harder to create a costume, but you always got to put more effort in it because you go in like as one. So I mean, everyone's pretty good. We had Squid Game, costume.
Hmm.
That was very like acceptable, like expected, if you would say. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was fun. We had like a little team party, and it was like a whole day thing.
yeah, for sure. I think that's huge, especially team building wise, to be able to get together for Halloween and have a little bit of fun for sure. Was there like a costume contest, or was it just kind of everyone get together, have a good time, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it was just to have a good time. I'm as a rookie. We have like 5 or 6 more rookies. We had to
Mm.
come up with a joke. Like everyone got in a circle. Everyone was laughing. It was fun, man.
That's good. No, it's good to hear. So, like you said, you're being a rookie in the American League. Although what's funny is that you've obviously played pro overseas, which we'll get into in a little bit. But are there any like rookie duties you have to do, like any like like cleaning the bus or pucks after practice, anything like that?
Yeah, obviously, as as people
Mm.
who gonna watch it know, like yeah, you got to pick up the pucks and stuff. But I see a lot of older guys too, like having us picking up the pucks. It's not a huge problem. I always stay on the ice after practice to shoot and practice some of my skills. So it's not a problem. And also like on the bus, we had short trips so far, so there's
Mm.
literally like no trash on it because like all the guys take care of it. So it haven't been hard.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Chicago being close by, I saw that a mutual friend of ours, reporter Artem Soloviev, ended up going to the game. I think against the Wolves. What was it like having a friend like him in the stands?
Yeah, no, it was great. He came by. We did a little interview there. It was fun, and obviously, my dad was here with him, and it was fun having them. Playing the game in front of your friends and stuff. It's always special.
Yeah, and especially for those that haven't been to a Chicago Wolves AHL game, I mean, the atmosphere is nuts in the All-State Arena there. Like they got fireworks pregame and all that. It's wild. It's definitely an interesting place to play a game for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I came out and they had fireworks. And like, what's going on? Because they told us like to go like out of how it is like go out of the
Mm,
locker room and like wait by the exit, right? Like
yeah.
6 minutes on the clock. And we're like staying there for 3 minutes. We're like, what is going on? And it's like fireworks, everything feels like we're in Super Bowl or something. But
Mhm.
and then I skated on the ice and just like all the things like after fireworks got into my eyes. It was so weird, but
All
it was
like the
obviously
smoke and
fun.
stuff.
Yeah, the smoke, my eyes were burning. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, the other funny thing about the rink there is that the locker rooms for each team are really close together. So for those that haven't been there, so basically both teams are walking up, like basically looking at each other the same way. And I forget what player it was. I don't know if it was Vince Dunn, but there was a player who's in the NHL now who, when he played in the American League, like they got in a fight in the hallway.
It was Vince Dunn. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure it was either yesterday from Grand Rapids got in the same fight. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll see it on Instagram or
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I just saw it this morning. Someone from Grand Rapids, and I don't know what's the other team. They got into the
Mhm.
fight like right in right by the exit. It's crazy.
It is, yeah. That rank's interesting for sure. Yeah, it's wild, but so yeah. Also, like I mentioned, you got drafted by Nashville, so I saw you did also go to that draft in Vancouver. What was that whole draft experience like, and did you have any idea where you were going to get picked?
Yeah, obviously, I talked to like like all the teams during the season.
Mm,
At the combine, most of the teams, if I'm not getting it wrong, it was 30. Seattle's 32, right?
32 is Seattle now,
Yeah,
and when you
yeah,
were
yeah.
drafted,
So
Vegas was 31. Yeah.
yeah, so it's 31 teams, and at the combine, I talked to 27. So like obviously my agent was saying something to me who I might get drafted by, but there was like no clear idea who I was getting drafted by. But obviously, in a city like that, it was very special, and finally hearing your name, it's crazy.
Absolutely. Before we get back to that, also, when you were going through the combine and talking to all these teams, was Detroit one of those teams? And if so, did you get grilled at all by Steve Eiserman?
Yeah, Detroit was one of them, of course. I didn't grilled by him. He was just making Russian jokes, because he obviously played with Russians, and it was just seems like a nice, funny dude.
Yeah, funny. I don't know if you saw this story or anyone out there, but apparently Joe Valeno, who played with past guests of mine, Greg Kreitzer and Bobby Lynch in the queue, it turns out Valeno carpooled with Stevie Y from Detroit to Toronto for their game against the Maple Leafs. So they were in
No
the
way.
car. Yeah, so they were in the car together for like 5 hours, which gets a lot of people wondering. They're like, what was played in the car? What conversations were had? I mean, I feel like it could lead to a little bit of awkwardness, but I mean, I guess Valeno is the only one that knows how that one went.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I'm sure like guys like that, such a legend, huge legend, like COI, like I'm sure there's no awkwardness, and I'm sure he, maybe taught a lot of things. Valeno probably asked some, advices or something like that.
Mhm.
I'm sure.
No, no doubt. So yeah, like I said, Nashville calls your name. What had you been to Nashville previously before getting drafted? And if you hadn't, what was the biggest thing that you took away from going to Nashville? Or one of the favorite parts about getting drafted to a city like that?
Yeah, no, before I got drafted, I've never been there, and obviously, then going to like development camp or the rookie camps, so much fun. Obviously, like we didn't get to experience the city a lot because you know how it is during camps. It's grind, it's practice, workout, practice. Every day you're doing some stuff with the team, coaches. You go into like soccer games, stuff like that. So there was no time to experience the city, but it was a great experience.
Yeah, for sure. You guys didn't get to go to this year, especially like, you didn't get to go to a Titans game or anything like that. Them being in Nashville.
Yeah, no, we were supposed to go, but no, I think we were supposed to go to soccer game. Yeah, never mind. We
No,
we we never went to Titans game. No.
no, that'd be too bad. I don't know. The Titans. The Titans they have an interesting team. I mean, especially I think Mike Vrabel's a good coach, and then obviously, I mean, getting to see Derrick Henry play. I mean,
Oh my God, he's a cheat code. I mean, everyone knows that, right?
yeah,
It's crazy.
he's insane. Yeah, I it's so tough. It's so tough to stop him. Although I thought I saw he's got a foot injury that's going to keep him out for a while. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so that's going to be tough for anyone that knows about fantasy football or any fans of the Titans. But yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
like you
true.
said, he is a cheat code. He's nuts, and obviously they went on that run. I think it was your after you got drafted that year. They went on the run where they went to the championship game and they lost to the Chiefs. But yeah, I mean, what a fan base they have in Nashville too, alongside the Preds.
Crazy. Yeah, obviously, I remember my first preseason game. It was 2 years ago when I got drafted because obviously last year there was no preseason games because of COVID. But
Mhm.
my first year when I got drafted, it was crazy. So we played doubleheader with Florida Panthers, and that's I'm 18 years old there, and so it was doubleheader, like I said. First game was at like 2 p.m. and my game was at 7 p.m. and the rink was packed, man. It was 17,000, 16 maybe thousand people. It was crazy. Like the high bowl, everything was packed. It was my first kind of experience with like fan base. It was unreal.
Yeah, and those Nashville fans are loud too. Like sometimes it's almost like I can't even hear myself think it's that loud.
Yeah, definitely. You're right.
Yeah, it's wild. And speaking of like you said, COVID with no exhibition games, you actually ended up you ended up playing the KHL last year. You spent the whole year there, and for a real franchise. Sorry to friend of the show, Igor the second, who played for Kunlun. Yeah, you played for a real franchise that actually had a little bit of dough in CSKA. What was
Oh my.
how'd you end up going to CSKA, and I know you guys obviously made it to the finals of the Gagarin Cup, but how was that whole year and how did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I used to play for them when I was younger, right? For the what is it
Mhm.
called, midget minor team, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Midgets.
Yeah,
Yep.
midget minor. Yeah, so I played like U13, U14, U15, and then
Mhm.
I took off to North America. But how it works in Russia, if you play for a team, for their like affiliate team, midget minor team,
Mhm.
before your rights with the team stay till you're 26 or 27.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so that's why I mean I really had no options, and my agent and Nashville GM, they were on a call. They called me and told me that I'm going to CSKA, and I just packed the bags and I went the next day. And it was crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, you got the CSK. It's kind of well known that they're a KHL club that has a little bit of money, unlike some of those some other clubs. Sorry again, Kunlun. But what
Just chirps going all the way to Igor.
well, I mean, he's told me before, obviously, that things, they didn't really have that much money, so he knows it. But so basically, but obviously, you hear all these stories of different clubs, even too, where they get bonuses for wins. Anything like that with your guys' group, where it's, the owner would come down and say, like, you guys win, you guys are getting a whatever, like $1 million bonus or something like that, or is it that's just kind of like fantasy tales?
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe especially you hear all those stories, people who played in the past, like
Mhm.
10 years, I mean, maybe before you hear those stories where like they're saying, the teams were run by like mafia or something like that,
Yeah,
But on our team, CSKA Moscow, like, everyone knows this team. It's top 2, 3 teams in the league. So we didn't really have anything like that because we had like, 6 North American guys who play in the NHL, and if you ask them, I'm sure they'll say the same thing. But as I was the young guy, I didn't really hear any of those things on our team. But I obviously hear like around the league, you know, hearing people like giving interviews and stuff. I hear that sometimes it occurs.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point to say. So yeah, as the young guy, like you said, obviously you made your debut in pro hockey, and overall, obviously this year was North American Pro, even though technically your pro debut was last year. What did you think was the biggest adjustment from going from North America, which obviously you were in like the OHL and the USHL, to then the KHL?
I mean, first of all, it's speed, right? And
Mhm.
like speed and strength, of the guys. Obviously, guys are higher level and they're more mature. They think different way. That was obviously the biggest point, probably.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know. Who'd you live with when you were in Russia? Did you live with your parents or did you live with teammates?
Yeah, I stayed with my parents because that's where I'm from, Moscow. So we have an apartment there, and I stayed the whole season with my parents.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice to hear. Obviously, I think that makes it a little easier of a transition when you're obviously I know you spent time in North America before, you're there, you're here now, but I think that makes the transition easier. And like I said, a friend of ours, Igor, he also was in Moscow because that's where Kunlun was since they weren't in China. Did you get to meet up with him at all while Kunlun was based in Moscow?
No, I didn't get the chance.
And was
Just
that
uh just one time we went out for sushi. It's
how was
actually
that?
great restaurant. Shout out to him. Oh my god.
Do you remember the name of
I
this
we had a
place? Do you remember this place? And
uh
anyone who goes to
no
Moscow,
no, I don't remember, but I'm sure if you ask him, he'll know because
he'll
it's
definitely he'll
probably,
tell me. Yeah.
yes, it's one of his places, and he knows good restaurants. So yeah, shout out to him.
Boy, yeah, boy does he ever. Which I gotta ask then. So you mentioned sushi. What's your sushi orders? Big question here.
Oh man, definitely can't go wrong with like a Philadelphia roll, with cream cheese. That's one of my favorite. Obviously, tuna, not spicy one though. I'm talking all rolls,
Yeah.
not like sashimi or anything. All
Nope.
rolls like tuna and I mean tempura shrimp to mix it up. I like to mix it up.
Hmm.
Usually I get 3 rolls. I eat 6 pieces. Perfect, gets me full.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just about to ask you about if you were getting shrimp tempura. That's a good call. I feel like anyone who usually gets sushi, I feel like you have to get shrimp tempura. That's a classic.
Yeah, you have to mix it up. I can't get like 3 rolls of tuna or 3 rolls of salmon. I gotta get like tuna, salmon, shrimp. Like
Hmm.
get the variety.
Yes. Now, where do you stand on the kind of like basic roll known as like the California roll? Where do you stand on that one?
It's pretty good too, but sometimes I heard that like those crab sticks they're not like too healthy, for
Hmm.
you. So if it's like real crap, I might get it. But if I'm going like to the place, where I know it's like crab stick or something, I might pass on it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I feel like California rolls for me have kind of fallen in my sushi rankings. Like the ones you
Yeah,
mentioned,
yeah, yeah,
I would definitely put those ahead of California roll 100%.
definitely.
100%. And yeah, like you said, you were in Moscow. How far did you live from, some of the, I guess, tourists here, some of the places a lot of people visit and go, like obviously like Red Square, the Kremlin, just all the kind of cool spots. Cause obviously I think living in a really big city like Moscow and playing hockey doesn't suck.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. As you get like, as everyone knows, people obviously who've been there or people who heard about like Russia, Moscow, the downtown is kind of everywhere there. There's no like certain area, how like New York, Chicago, like there's no certain area like we're downtown. So
Hmm.
downtown is pretty much everywhere in Moscow. And like you said, from Kremlin, for example, I live pretty much close to everything, all the big areas. From Moscow City,
Hmm.
I live like 5 minutes. It's like all the offices, they got like big glass buildings, tall black glass buildings, remind me of kind of New York. They got like 7, 10 of them. And obviously from Kremlin, I live like same around 10 minutes
That's not bad at
away.
all. Yeah. Kremlin looks awesome. Red Squares seems like a cool spot to be.
Yeah, definitely a lot of history behind it, and but the only thing that sucks there, it's like obviously traffic.
Oh, I've heard. Yeah, I heard anyone that doesn't
Traffic
know,
is
awful.
crazy there. Yeah, you might
Yeah.
you might open up your GPS an hour before you leave, and it'll show you like 20-minute drive, and then you leave in like 20 minutes after, and it shows you like 3.5 hours. And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and for those and as you probably know too, and for those that don't know, they're like Russia, like Moscow, it's like three rings of traffic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 3 rings of highway, if I would say, right?
Yeah, three
Like,
rings of highway. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
there's
three
three
rings
of
of
them.
highway. Yeah, and sometimes some of the highway slash roads don't make sense because they're like going on each other, kind
Hmm.
of.
Yeah,
So it's like always like traffic, a lot of just unfortunate things.
yeah. What are some of the crazier things you've seen in Russia? Because obviously, I feel like as it's been described, Russia's almost like the Wild Wild West in the sense that anything goes there. So
Yeah, yeah.
what are some crazy things you've seen, especially last year?
I mean, man, last year, like, especially, maybe obviously if I stayed there like over the summer, that'd be one thing because, you're going around the city and stuff. But during the season, it's like you're always rank, hotel, home. So you don't really see a lot of things. But obviously, I mean, the craziest thing probably would be on the road. Like one time I was, me and my mom, like my mom was driving, and we're in a
Hmm.
car, and we're staying in like a right lane, but we wanted to go straight. Like it was just very complicated road, so we didn't know that it was right and it was traffic. So
Yeah.
we couldn't go to the left, but we needed to go to the left.
Hmm.
And there was a woman behind us, and she threw her bottle at our car.
She's
Just
like, what, a bottle of like what, vodka?
I don't know what bottle, but it was just like you could hear it, like. And after when we drove off, we saw the bottle, and she like got out of her car, got out of like to our window, like
Hmm.
when like started screaming and stuff, like move your car and stuff. But we're obviously laughing, because
Yeah.
like get out of here, like we're waiting,
Hmm.
chill out. And but yeah, that was kind of crazy because just kind of relaxed. But obviously, when it's traffic, everyone's pushing on their nerves. So that's how it
Yeah,
goes. I thought it was a little crazy.
it is. Yeah, people can look this up too. There's a ton of videos out there on the internet, even here in
Yeah,
America of you've probably seen them. Yeah, it's these I think it's the Karens, sorry if that offends anyone, but just like these these like white women who go up to someone's window and they're like, "You need to move your car," and they're just like so mad at people. So you saying that she throws her bottle, gets out of the car, and is just screaming at your mom. It seems similar to when like someone's like a Karen's just trying to be a hero and just say, "You get out of the way, like you're blocking this. You
yeah,
can't park here."
yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah, definitely no. But if you guys Google it, like on the internet, like Russian like race roads, you will see a lot, full on fights on the roads. I mean, I'm sure it's happened like all around the world,
Mhm.
but it's just very, very funny, too. to look those videos at night sometimes when you guys got nothing else to do.
No, exactly.
It's very funny to just Google it, and they got like 15-minute compilation. Just watch it.
Absolutely. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this, playing in Russia, but and people want to know, obviously, the Russian gas. Did you guys have any experience with the Russian gas, or did anyone in your team use it?
I mean, we had like obviously IVs, but
Mhm.
the last time I checked, IVs were legal for everyone, and nothing wrong with that. It's just vitamins, they like flushes your system. But with, I mean, Russian gas, like I didn't really saw anything like that. I heard that there's things like that, but never seen with my own eyes,
No, I got you. So what do you make so obviously playing the league last year, what do you make of all these stories that you've heard over the years of different players that come to the KHL and play, and all just some of the wild things that have transpired?
Like you mean
Like
like which
stories.
stories?
No, just like
Oh,
talk about like, different things like Russian gas, or not getting paid on time, or like just some of the wild dealings that they've encountered with the teams.
yeah, I definitely like obviously, I haven't played. I feel like some of those guys, who tells the stories they played in, KHL like over in Russia for multiple years. So obviously with time you get some stories. But obviously, everyone who knows hockey, who likes hockey, you've seen like spin chicklets,
Mhm.
Stapleton like talking about that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, like,
All-time interview,
but
by the way. Listen to that. It's Tim
yeah,
Stapleton.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. I've heard that one. I've listened to it, and all of them are like, wow, like it's crazy, right? Especially for North America. But sometimes, like I said, maybe it was like a little ruthless. Obviously, not paying on time. I heard that happened before.
Mhm.
But like I said, again, each team got their own rules, and like on our team, everything was great. It's a big club, it's a known club. Everyone knows the owners, so we had no problem with that. But obviously, I heard a lot of stories.
Yeah, and everyone's experience is definitely different. So I would say that. And speaking of it, you guys, like I said, you guys did make it to the finals. What was that playoff run like this past year?
Uh, it was crazy to be honest. Especially uh, playing in the finals, playing against my favorite player, Ilia Kolchak, and seeing him on the ice, with like being with him on the ice at the same time was great. But at the time, he wasn't. He was my enemy, because we played against
Mhm.
him. But now, like looking back, it was very cool for sure.
Yeah, that's a special moment that you can be able to look across the ice and realize I watched this guy growing up on TV. This guy, I looked up to him, and now I'm actually getting to play against him. I think that's a special feeling for any athlete.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's so I was born in like small city there, 3 hours away from Moscow, and
Mhm.
when I was 4, we moved to Moscow, and Ilya Kolchak is from my hometown. So I basically like got into hockey because of him, because he was drafted to Atlanta at that time, Atlanta Thrashers, and he came back like over the summer, I think, to like show some like master class and stuff,
Mhm.
to the kids. And my dad brought me there, and I kind of liked it, and that's where it all started from.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, you're good. Yeah, I think that's awesome how it comes full circle that way, where you obviously idolized him and you actually went to his camp, and now you played against him. You hear about those stories, I feel, a lot in sports. Like even I think it was the last Olympics Michael Phelps was in. There was I forget the name, but there was a swimmer who took a photo with him when he was a kid, and then he was competing on Team USA with him. Like it's
Yeah,
wild to see. It's unreal.
yeah, it's very humbling too, and obviously like thankful for those opportunities.
Absolutely. And like I mentioned before, good friend of ours, Igor the second, he comes up a lot on the podcast. He's been a guest. So I got to address this. So my first episode I ever recorded was with him, and we were talking about when you guys played in Muskegon, you and the other Russian guys would play basketball. So he was telling me that I asked him who was better, you or him, one on one, and he said it's him, but he said if I were to ask you, you would say you. So I'm going to ask it again. Who talk about the basketball there, and who really would win? Are you going to say it's you?
course, man. What else? What else? Like I'm gonna say, like
Yeah.
if he wants to play, play this game, get a little shit talking, that's on his side. But
Yeah.
hopefully when we get together, I can put my basketball shoes on and we'll all settle it. But
Absolutely. I think you're gonna
yeah,
have to. I mean, I will say being out with him in LA this summer, we did play a fair amount of hoop. So, you play a fair amount of ball. So you come out there, and I think it'll happen. I got to see this too. I mean, obviously he was talking about it, but yeah, like, how was it playing basket? Because I know he said that you guys would pretty much like you would run the show when you guys would play against other guys on the team.
yeah. Don't no, we're a little better, but it was so fun. We would go there every day after practice, before practice, and we would play basketball. It's kind of getting away a little bit from hockey, and at the same time, physical activity was great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's great. All time. I thought it was an all time story that he was talking about, especially when I'm trying to think who it was. I think it was Gushin. He was talking about. He was comparing him to a guy in Ohio State back in the day who would like slap the floor on defense. Just
Yeah,
yeah,
no, we were playing. You know how it is when
yeah.
to be honest, we were like sometimes we were getting like into it. Like
Mhm.
we took it very seriously because we were playing. We kept count every point, and it was like we were getting into it.
Absolutely. So what was your first impression of Igor when you met him?
I mean, we met right when he came to Muskegon, right? And
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure he came. He was like a little bit into the season.
Yeah, because you started in Windsor
Yeah,
that
yeah,
year.
yeah. So he started in Windsor, and when he came to Muskegon, I remember he like, I mean, we clicked right away, obviously, because he was sitting like they put him right beside me. So we obviously like started talking right away, and again,
Mhm.
being Russians together, it's obviously a huge thing. We had a lot of Russians this year, but adding +1, it was great.
Absolutely. Do you have any funny stories of him from your not only time there, but obviously just getting to hang out with him, obviously in Detroit, or just anything like that? Because obviously he's a very funny guy, as a lot of people who listen have gotten to know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe if I dig into my memory a little bit, I just remember one time we are trying to like I got to his house and we are trying to like make music,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think it was so great. Did you guys try that too?
I don't know if we tried to. I don't know if we made any music, because I know, like, I don't think this summer when I was at his house we made any music, but it sounds like something you guys would have done. Especially, what was
Yeah, yeah,
this,
yeah. No,
2020?
definitely.
Like, this
And
was
we're
pandemic.
oh yeah, man. And like we're getting in. Yeah, it was pandemic. It was right before I actually went to Russia,
Hmm.
and we're like trying to make music, and he's a little better than me, obviously, because his sisters and stuff, they're all in music
Hmm.
before, and they passed down a couple of skills, and I was really new to it, but it's cool. I love music, and it was really cool for me. Definitely a new experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And you, if I'm not mistaken, you guys traveled to Russia together that year, correct?
Yeah, that's right, for sure. It was, yeah, during COVID again. The plane was empty. I'm pretty sure it was like us two on the whole 150 seat plane, but it
Gotta
was
love
awesome.
that. Gotta love
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
How was the terminal experience? Because it's funny, because for those that don't know, their flight, they went from Detroit to O'Hare in Chicago. And then I think you guys went to what, London, Heathrow? Is that where you flew to next? You flew from Chicago to London?
Yeah, it was either London or Paris, something
Somewhere
like
like
that.
that. Yeah. So I remember I wasn't in Chicago at the time. I was out east, and Igor's texting me. He's like, "Hey, like, you'll be home at this time because he wanted to meet up." And I'm like, I'm like, I wish I could, but I can't. Like, I'm out here, and he was telling me how bad his experience was at O'Hare, because especially during like pandemic times, there was no food open at the airport. So you just talk about how bad it was, especially with having to go to Burger King, which, if you know him, that's a place he like never wants to go.
Yeah, no, I remember. I mean, not a huge Burger King fan either, but
Same, not either.
yeah, I just remember like we went there because there was literally no options, and we went there, and he got like vegetarian burger or something like with
Yeah, it was the Impossible Burger. Yeah.
impossible. And it was like, I was like, why did you do that? Because he's not vegetarian.
Nope.
And he's like, yeah, but it's healthier, blah blah blah. And I just got a regular, I don't remember what I got, maybe like
Whopper.
a regular cheeseburger, yeah, whatever
Yeah,
it's called,
Whopper.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. It was great. But he just took a bite off of his, and he's like, I'm not eating that.
Yeah, if there's one thing you'll learn about him, for anyone that doesn't know, he is such a health freak. And like it's weird because I'd like to consider myself someone who likes to eat well, but getting to know him better, he just takes it to a whole nother level. Like like, I think I'm here. He's like all the way up here, like the way he handles it. It's unreal.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, look, for an athlete, it's not a bad thing to do, obviously, because
No, not at all.
of course, you gotta stay on top of it.
Yeah, not at all. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, especially like you said, like that day, your only option really was a Whopper, and you sucked it up and ate it, even though it's not the healthiest thing. But
Yeah, but I was hungry, so I didn't really think of anything. Because
no, you
again,
had to.
we're flying, so it's like you're not gonna find any healthy options really.
No,
So
and I guess I'll even ask too. So on the plane, did they like not serve any food for that overseas flight?
no, they did. Yeah, they did. Especially, yeah, they definitely did. Of course, it was like a 2 3 course meal. It was great.
Yeah, but at the time, obviously, when you fly in, you still want something. Which, I mean, I won't.
Oh, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, on the planes, or yeah, on the planes, it's the food's like it's not big, so
no.
obviously when you land, you're hungry again.
Yeah, and even like I guess I won't get too much into it, but the thing that's always for me that I always notice is there's like three places out there that I would consider you're a captive audience. That would be if you're at a theme park, if you're at a sporting event. So if anyone go when Afan is playing for the Predators, if anyone goes to a Preds game, the pricing, it's captive audience, and even worse for me, airport. Those are the three places. And if you don't know what I mean by captive audience, it's where you're there and these people do not care. They will charge whatever,
Oh
and
yeah,
it sucks, but you got to pay for it. Especially,
yeah, you ten
yeah,
dollar hot dog, stuff like that. Like, come on,
yes,
but that's reality.
yeah. Like even I was at a Red Sox Yankees game about a month or so ago, and I think for like a slice of pizza I saw was like $6.75,
Huh. Hey,
which
that's how it is, man.
yeah, it is. And even worse was I went to a Bruins game and it was even worse. It was like 11.50.
They gotta hustle too, right?
Yeah, I can only imagine what the prices are at Bridgestone Arena, but yeah, that's how they make their money. Yeah, they just do it. But yeah, especially the airport. I always felt like the airport's like I feel like the airport's the worst low key for captive audience just
I don't know.
because
I don't know what's worse, the rink or airport, though. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
it's a toss up. Even like, and I mentioned theme parks too, because like you go to like I don't know Six Flags or like even Disney. Like Disney prices get really bad. It sucks, but I mean it's still funny because I remember that Igor telling me that story about him telling me about that experience where he said it was terrible. Which for me, I took it as I've flown to O'Hare so many times. I've been there a lot, and I think it's a great airport. I think there's a lot of good options. But then again,
Yeah, yeah,
I really haven't flown there since the pandemic, so it
yeah. Pandemic changed everything. You got to know about
yeah.
that too.
Because before it was awesome. There were
Yeah.
so many spots. Like even have you ever eaten at like a restaurant from like Wolfgang Puck before, or have you heard of the name?
No, no, no.
So Wolfgang Puck, for anyone that doesn't know, is a like a renowned chef. I wouldn't say he's like quite Gordon Ramsay, but he's very, very good. I think he has a restaurant in Beverly Hills. Like he's got a lot of restaurants around the world. So he has some restaurants and airports and one of them's at O'Hare, and it's really good. Like they have some good food there. So I don't know if it's open now, but they do have a lot of good options. So yeah, that was a classic travel story that
That's cool.
he was telling me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And even funny enough, you actually went to play for Windsor the next year, kind of an opposite, a reverse of what Igor did. So what went into you playing for Windsor that next year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, signing my getting drafted, signing my NHL contract. That's the story behind it. Just turning pro.
Did you did you after you signed, did you make what was the first thing you purchased after you signed? Anything cool?
That's a good question. I mean, again, it was 2 years ago. I don't really remember, but I remember I bought myself like a nice pair of Gucci shoes. That
Respect,
was
respect.
because I lately I've been getting big, into sneakers and stuff. It's
Awesome.
one of my passions too. And yeah, I think that was the first big purchase.
Yeah, I will say for everyone at home listening and watching, I will say in our Afan is in a group chat with obviously with me, Igor, friend of the program, Mike Tyson, Kaliev with the Kings. He's doing well with LA right now. And Afan will send in our group chat a screenshot of what is it, the kicks? Is it like the drawing? He enters these sneaker drawings to try to get these shoes. And
Yeah.
every time he sends it in our chat, it's like, damn, I didn't get them. I'll get them next time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's obviously, one of those like Travis Scott pairs or something where like they
Mhm.
release, and under like after resale they go for like 2,000 and stuff, but I'm trying to get them off the retail price, and I haven't got lucky once before, but hey man, I keep trying.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you just gotta keep going. It's kind of like that phrase, you're not gonna win the lottery if you don't play. So if you want to win the lottery, you gotta play. So I get that. Which pair of shoes that have been out there that you are like, I really wish I would have won this, or I really want this?
I mean, I wasn't playing on when the shoe came out. So my favorite shoe is the Jordan ones,
Mhm.
Travis Scott, the like Maka ones,
Mhm.
like the brown ones.
Yeah,
Uh, those are my favorite pair, and obviously, one day I wanna cop them for sure.
absolutely. What got you so into sneakers, might I ask?
Just the style, I like the style, and obviously, shoes is part of the style, and now it's part of me, I guess, because I like to even sometime with a suit mix in a pair of sneakers. I think it looks great and it's fresh, and yeah, I mean it's great.
Yeah, I think you might have to. I think anyone that listens to Chicklets might know what I'm about to say, but I think you might have to convince Rear Admiral that sneakers are a good look with a suit, because I think he was giving it to Buchagras, who works for ESPN now, about like he's like, oh, I hate when people wear a suit with like sneakers, and obviously I think Buchagras, I think he was wearing Vans with like his sneakers with his suit one time, which I mean, I think with the right sneakers, I think it works. I think
Yeah,
it like yeah, it depends as you would know.
yeah, definitely. I don't know about Vans. It's kind of questionable. I think, yeah, yeah, the Vans are questionable with suit. I've never tried. I got the pair of Vans, just original ones, the old school black and white.
Love it, love
I
it.
obviously never, yeah, I never tried them with a suit because I think it's not the right shoe for a suit.
No,
But
no.
more like I have like a pair of McQueens. I think it's a great because they got an elevated, sole and stuff. So I think it's a great shoe with a suit. So yeah, definitely it goes. You just got to find the right one.
Yeah, for sure. And I also did bring up the first purchase thing, which obviously think Gucci shoes, that's where my mind would probably go too. But I bring it up because I remember seeing Brady Kachuk sign his deal a few weeks ago, and someone asked him, "Hey, what was the first big thing you got?" And he said he got like a recliner, like a chair. And I'm like, man, I respect that move. That's great. You just buy a recliner. I mean, who doesn't love a good recliner to have in your living room?
Oh, obviously, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's a great move. And even keeping with the theme with Igor, you obviously were in the bubble this year with World Juniors, and you got to be coached by his dad, who obviously I think he's a tremendous human, and I admire him a lot. What was it like getting to be coached by him on that kind of stage?
Yeah, it was great because obviously first legend like him. Any day, for any kid, it's amazing, to getting coached by him. And second of all, it was great because I knew him personally, and when you know the coach on personal level, I think it helps even more. So it's just a great experience.
For sure. So obviously it's been made known that the bubble was rather boring or that there wasn't a lot to do. So that begs the question, what did go on when you didn't with downtime when you weren't playing or practicing?
Yeah, I mean, there's literally we're like in our rooms by ourselves, because we couldn't go to each other's room, which kind of sucked. But again, we had to take precautions, and whatever's for safety, we were willing to do. So you would just sit in the room, play video games, be on your phone, talk to your girlfriend. So whatever helps you, you just do that while you're boring.
Yeah, that makes sense. What video games do you rip up?
When I was in Russia, I was playing on PC. I was playing CS:GO, Counter-Strike. It's more,
Yeah.
a lot of my Euros would know that game. Obviously, not too many North American people know that game. But now obviously I'm back here, with a PlayStation, Call of Duty, Far Cry, all that good stuff.
No, for sure. Yeah. Far Cry. Yeah, Far Cry's a cool game. This might be weird to say, but honestly, I don't really play video games. I used to, man, but I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot more other things going on to where I can't really find that time. And here's the weird thing too is, as anyone that's played video games knows, if you're not good at video games, the only way to get better is by practicing. But then if I'm playing a lot, then I'm like, what's the point of me playing all this much? Like, what am I like? It's not like I'm trying to. It's different nowadays because obviously you could be a Twitch streamer. You can stream on Twitch and actually make money. But that's not my goal. So it's like, why would I do that?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I just get my mom off everything, and get on it too. It doesn't mean that I play like all day, every day, just sometimes once in a while, because usually you know how it is, it's practices, stuff like that. You always home rank. But yeah, like I mentioned to you, I'm only playing shooters because I think I'm good at shooters.
Yeah.
I'm not like either like Fortnite, stuff like that. I didn't even bother myself to try because all that building and other side stuff, I can't even do it. So I never got into it. But other shooters, I love playing campaign, by myself, like completing the story. It's cool for me.
Yeah. Do you know who's actually not bad at Fortnite?
Kaliev?
Yes, Bike.
He's good at everything.
He's
and,
he's a good Fortnite player. Even I'll say what's funny is Egor and his girlfriend, I think they even started playing Fortnite they play with Bike, which I think is really funny because especially before, I don't think Egor would ever have played Fortnite. He's told me that, but obviously things change.
Yeah, no, definitely. Knowing Igor, he was really good at FIFA, but I never knew he got into Fortnite.
Yeah, it's a very when I'm saying this, it's a very recent thing. It's like last week or so.
Yeah. No, that's always fun.
Yeah, honestly, it's very recent. And speaking of Bike, you did get to play against him when he was on the Americans. How was it playing against him, especially in that game? Because I've said this before. I mean, that game especially, I thought Igor Senior was years better than Lehman, the U.S. coach. Especially, I think Lehman got out coached that game big time.
Yeah, I mean, it was first game of the tournament, obviously, right? First game of World Juniors, and we beat him 5-3. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it was like 5-3 with an empty net because Zegras scored to make it 4-3, and then you guys I think added the empty netter or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, we felt great, about our game. We get to beat Americans, one of the favorites of the whole World Juniors, and they end up winning. But it was a great first game and set up the right mind, and obviously we're feeling great about our game.
Did you say anything to him in warmups, or did you kind of just yell across the eyes like Bike?
Man, I just remember one time he was skating by our bench and I said something, and literally as the game was going, like the game was going on the other side, he just like looked at me and like stared at me for like 3 seconds, laughed and skated out. It was crazy.
I actually said this when I was talking to Greg here. I said, especially in our group chat, Bike's the guy who's like not very active, but oh my, when he gets active, he is so funny.
Oh yeah, he's one of those, like, he's not trying to be funny, but he is,
Exactly. Yeah, he's not trying to be funny at all. Which I will say, I saw the Kings put out their Halloween costume Instagram, and I was kind of bummed because I'm like, where's Bike's costume? Like, what did Bike dress up as for Halloween? I was kind of interested to see what he would have dressed up as.
You didn't see? They never know.
No, like I didn't. So like they put out there was like multiple photos, and Bike wasn't included because it was like Kopitar and his family. I think like Dano, like some of the players, but Bike wasn't there, so I have no idea what he was for Halloween.
Yeah, maybe you gotta ask him. Maybe
I
he'll
would
send you a picture.
no, I definitely will. Yeah, I wonder what he would have came up with. It would have been funny if he would have dressed up as like a Fortnite character or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of Windsor too, you played with a kid that I also played with back in the day, Matt Maggio. What was it like playing with this guy?
I think he was great. He was a rookie, on our team, and he's a great, funny kid overall. And he was a great rookie too. Just obviously knowing his place and very skilled player. That's one more thing I can say about him. He got silky hands, and I'm seeing he's doing great now there.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when he came to my team. He was playing in Ottawa, and Turnier, who's coaching in Arizona, I played with his two sons. They're twins. So Turnier, we kind of through that connection, he came down to our team, and yeah, he was a funny kid. I actually remember he was going to school, so I would have to pick him up from school and take him to the rink. So I would have to go because where we played where the Sens were. So I had to go all the way basically into the city and then come back and like basically sit in traffic.
Take
So
care of him.
yeah, I know I had to. Yeah, I had to, which was always which I didn't mind doing, obviously, and it was just funny, like because it was always like, oh, we don't because we'd have to be there an hour before, but that
Yeah.
excuse of getting to pick him up, we'd be a little bit late. But no, he's funny, and even I'll say we had like Rookie Idol where we had to sing on the bus after a win, and he ended up losing.
Oh
I think it was
no.
yeah, he had like a voice crack or two, so that's what I think really did him in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy. He was like 15, I think, or something. He was so young. It was insane. But yeah, I definitely obviously saw the talent. The talent was definitely evident, especially at that lower level, that level below beneath the OHL. But yeah, he was a good addition to our team. He was funny, that's for sure.
100%, man.
Oh yeah, it was great. And yeah, even playing with Bobby too in Muskegon. How often would Bobby talk about fishing or say, hey, you see this? I caught this last summer.
Yeah, I don't know. Bobby's just a great guy overall. I
Mhm.
haven't heard him talk a lot of fishing, maybe because I'm not into it, or sometimes like I don't know. I've never really experienced fishing fully. Like I kind of want to go into the ocean, like fish, like catch like big fishes, but at the same
Yeah.
time, all the ocean thing kind of freaks me out
Hmm.
when you go like into the deep waters and stuff. So I'm not I'm not sure if I'm too big into it, but Bobby was just a great overall guy for sure.
Yeah, he really is, but he is big into fishing. And you mentioned the deep water. Did you watch My Octopus Teacher on
No,
Netflix? No?
what is that?
Okay, so it won, I think, like best documentary at the Oscars this year. For those that are unfamiliar with it, or as Ryan Whitney mockingly calls it, My Octopus Professor. It's basically about this guy who studies like octopi, and it's almost weird to say, but it's almost like he falls in love with this octopus. He basically
Oh
keeps going.
boy.
Like it's not like that, but I mean, like he comes to like really care for this octopus, and he
Yeah.
goes into the water like every day for like I think like 300 straight days or something. It's why it was an interesting watch to say the least.
Oh boy, maybe I'll check it out.
Netflix, yeah, it's on Netflix. And like you said, you mentioned people going as Squid Game characters. Have you had a chance to watch the show? I mean, obviously, so many people have.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know. I sit down with my girlfriend. I watched it right away. We watched literally the whole thing in 2 days.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. The show.
I mean, I think they did a great job, and IBC. It's crazy. Once in a decade. That like it's like international show. Attracts such a crazy audience. It was just great seeing it, and I'm happy. For all the people who participated in that show.
Yeah. So, big question about watching it. Did you and your girl watch it with? It was the English dub version or the original version, like the original audio but with subtitles.
No, so like we watched it. It was all in English, obviously. Like it was a voiceover,
Yeah, that's what dubbing
and
means. Yeah, voiceover. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So with English subtitles, it was great. I I had no problems. Maybe because I'm Russian. I don't know. My girlfriend enjoyed it also. So we
okay,
had
so
no problems
yeah,
with that.
you watched it with the dub version because I'll say I started watching with the dub version and I'm like, I can't do this because for some reason it's like the mouth not matching up with the words bugs me. So I went on Netflix and I chose the original because I like to hear the original sound of the voice. So I did the Korean with the English subtitles and it's way better. It's just
I don't know. I
I
can't.
don't know.
I
It
don't
just
know.
no. I
I
just
mean, everyone got their own opinion. Right? If you get,
no. That's fine. You can disagree with me on it. I'm just saying it's. For example, if I was watching like a Russian film and it's different because you speak the language, but if I was
yeah,
watching like a documentary in Russian, I would want to hear the not just also because I think the language Russian is a very nice sounding language. It's just I like hearing the sound of it, but it's just I would rather hear the original voice of the people and then with
yeah,
the
yeah,
subtitles. Maybe it's because I don't mind reading a little bit. I don't know. A lot of people, some people
yeah. I
hate reading.
definitely.
I don't know.
I can see where you come from. Definitely,
Yeah,
for sure.
different people like different things. I don't
Yeah,
know.
100%.
And even speaking with playing with Russia, you also played. I think it was you played in the Subway Super Series, I believe, right? Which
Yeah,
who is it? Who'd you guys play against? Was it team all the you played against all of them?
Team
All
OHL.
you played against Team OHL. How was that experience?
I mean, it was great. We got kind of pumped the first game. It's maybe a lot of obviously Russian guys too coming from over there. With all the time change and stuff like that, a little bit surprised. Smaller rink, but the second game went much better.
Who who are some of the OHL guys that obviously you obviously compete with them night in and night out, but especially who are some of the guys in that Team OHL that you watched that game and you were like, geez, just especially since you guys got like you said you got pumped the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but Byfield, Quint Byfield was really good there. But yeah, I mean, he was very very big player first of all, and then you can see him on the ice when he comes out and comes in. So yeah, I would say him.
And funny thing is that Byfield also finished, I believe it was that year or the next year, he finished it playing with another friend of ours, Matej Pekar. What stories or what memories do you have of Matej? As he's a very, very interesting guy.
Yeah, no, definitely. The summer when pandemic hit and stuff,
Hmm.
we're all in Detroit, and again we play basketball. Go on. We had like a little baseball court by his house, and then we would pull out the net, the hockey net, and just shoot pucks like for 3 hours straight. Because right pandemic, no ice, nothing. So that's what we did. Like for most of the summer, our hands would be bleeding sometimes with blisters.
Hmm.
But it was just great summer, because obviously pandemic hit, and that's how we kind of got out. We were playing basketball, playing physical activities. It's great.
Yeah. What do you make of his rapping abilities?
I mean, he's confident. I'll give him that. But sometimes I just want to Sometimes the stuff he says, I just want to be mad. That's not for you.
Have you've seen the video of him rapping "Lose Yourself," right?
Oh, come on, yeah, of course.
It's so funny. I mean,
Yeah, no, but
he does a
that
great
stuff is
job.
good. But when 100%, especially when like Eminem, like he tries to be like Eminem, like I think it's funny, I think it's cool. But
Mhm.
then when he starts like freestyling, I think that he needs to work on that.
Yeah, that all comes with reps, like with anything, and that comes with confidence. But yeah, I actually tried to. It's funny because I tried to get him to freestyle live on the podcast, and he was like, "I can't." I'm like, "You just let everyone down. Way to go, man."
Yes, he got a little shy there.
He he did big time. Which funny also bringing up music. What if you had a, you can you if you had a like obviously I know you use Apple Music or Spotify, but what are your top five songs at the moment?
Uh, at the moment,
Yeah, like what do
uh,
you got on repeat?
yeah, I would do SUVs Black on Black by Jack Harlow and Push Ice T. I'm a huge fan of rap again. For people who don't know, uh, Knife Talk by Drake
Oh, that one's really good.
from his new album.
Certified Lover
Especially
Boy.
yeah, and No Friends in the Industry, and all those two songs gets me fired up, especially before the game.
Mm.
And probably I would put like two more songs by Lil Baby. Just some of his maybe casuals like Drip Too Hard,
Hmm.
stuff like that. But I love, yeah, my favorite rapper is definitely Drake and Lil Baby.
So would you definitely say that Certified Lover Boy was better than Donda?
Yeah, for sure. I would also like, I mean, for fans of Kanye West, I feel like Donda, that style of music, it's a little bit different
Hmm.
for what I was expecting. So I mean, that's for people who are his fans, I'm sure they love it. And again, Drake, I was like, when the album came out, I was like, I listened to it, for the first time. I was like, oh, like I don't know what I feel about it, because I like when he like goes hard, on lyrics and stuff.
Hmm.
But then it grew on me, to be honest. It did.
I would have to agree, and yeah, for Certified Lover Boy, I would have to agree. I listened to it the first time, and yeah, it was good, but yeah, some of the other songs that have emerged, like obviously like Poppy's Home, Knife Talk, Fair Trade,
Yeah. Good.
also is
Yeah,
good.
Puppy Song too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely I definitely think that it's better than Donda. And Donda has some good songs, like obviously like Hurricane. For those that haven't listened, the Weekend's part in Hurricane is so good.
Yeah,
I
I haven't heard it. My girl listens to a couple of the Donda songs, but I can't really get into it.
I will say listen to Hurricane. It's Kanye, Lil Baby, and the Weekend on it.
I will. I will.
The Weekend's part is really good. I was listening to it first time. I'm like, oh, the Weekend's on this. I no
Yeah.
idea. I had no idea. It was crazy. So yeah, so a little game I want to play was word association. So I have a few phrases or a few words, and I want you to just say the first thing that pops in your mind when you think of it. First one is Russian gas.
KHL.
Yeah, I would say KHL or like mask or like needle.
Yeah.
um, other one. Oh, this is a joke one. Baba Booey.
Balabu, it's obviously reminds me of our group chats,
Yeah,
because we've been especially when like all that stuff on TikTok and stuff got popular.
yeah,
We're all like randomly we would just send audio chats and stuff to each other. It was very funny at the time.
yeah. Baba Booey is so funny. If anyone everyone should look up that TikTok Baba Booey all time
Yeah, it's
TikTok.
just something very like you say it and you're laughing with someone about it, and then 2 minutes later you're like, am I 5 years old? But it's like one
Exactly.
of those things that are just so funny and don't make sense.
It is. It's hilarious. Next one is Louis Vuitton.
uh, uh I'd say Igor. He likes Louis Vuitton big time.
Yeah, I would say bags. Their Louis Vuitton bags are great, but I think even funny about bringing up Igor is even as you know his mom, who his mom's a unbelievable person, one of my favorite people out there. She's great.
Yeah.
She has a lot of Louis Vuitton bags. I think she even has a Louis Vuitton like phone case. Like there's phone cases where you like it has like a wall or you
Yeah,
flip
yeah,
it.
the magnet. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
she
yes.
has a Louis Vuitton one, and I was like, damn. I'm like, that's how you know like you're legit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you know. Yeah, that's how you know. Definitely.
Unbelievable. And
No,
on
but
that, yeah, go ahead. On
yeah,
that,
I
yeah, go
I
ahead.
got a couple of things too. Like I got for my birthday, I got a belt. They do such a quality stuff, and it's something like I don't know. Like again, for me, like I was saying, like with style, and all those big brands. Like you obviously, when you're younger, you don't really hear about this a lot, but then when you go when you grow up, you start hearing about it, and you obviously want it. But yeah, I got a couple of things.
Yeah, weird story. But the first time I heard about Louis Vuitton, I think I was actually like 10 because during the like Penguins Capitals like Winter Classic series on HBO, they were for the Capitals at practice. Someone with the eye black painted like an LV on the cheeks. So
No
that's
way.
yeah. So they're like, oh, Louis Vuitton. So like that's how I
Oh, I
heard
gotta
about
I
it.
gotta look at it. I never heard of it.
Yeah, that's how I heard about it. But no, it was crazy. And speaking with that note, next word is Gucci
Russia. You
shoes.
know why?
Yeah,
I'll
well, let's hear
explain.
it.
You know
Gucci,
why?
yes, let's hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think obviously Louis Vuitton, Gucci, those brands,
Hmm.
they're the biggest. I read some. They're the biggest like the fake. The people like because
Yes. Mhm.
It's the most popular and the most fake, and in Russia you see like sometimes you go to those the big sales, like, and it's not obviously not from Gucci or Louis Vuitton stores, but it's just like those commercial stores, and you
Mm.
see just piles of Gucci like fake stuff, and sometimes you see a lot of people on the street in Russia, like a lot. You're like everyone got Gucci, and you're like, okay, there's no way everyone can afford to buy that because it's very expensive.
Yeah, exactly. And even
That's why it's the
mm,
first thing that came to my mind, to be honest.
yeah, and even as you would know too, for those when the stimulus checks hit this summer due to the pandemic, what was it? I was with Igor and another friend of ours, Klein. Um, we were at Somerset in Troy, Michigan, and we just see the line of people at Louis Vuitton, and we're like, all right, like these people are just spending their stimulus check on some Louis Vuitton.
Oh my God, it was crazy, man. It was, yeah. I mean, you expect, right? People wanted, people got a little bit extra money. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why not? But although it's weird because that's normally what was um made for paying rent, not really. Uh, so that's kind of was. And then the last word we have, which is funny because you mentioned it already, but it's KHL.
KHL stories.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Stories. I mean, there's just endless KHL stories.
Yeah, I think it's the most hilarious. Obviously because that's how too, like a lot of North American guys too, they they come, people from Europe, they come play in KHL, and obviously there's always funny stories from every league, from every life of the player, but the funniest ones you hear from over there, just can't make it up.
No, you can't. No, no, no. Yeah, you can't make any of it up. It's honestly wild. It's insane. Oh, and I guess weirdly enough, breaking news too. I just saw that Adam Fox just signed a 7-year contract. I mean, talk about a guy getting paid. I mean, especially like I feel like he's gonna be a tough guy to play against, especially as a winger like you are. Especially having to deal with him in the offensive zone is gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, deserves every penny, obviously, and he's been so great in the NHL and
Mhm.
such a skilled, talented player. It's crazy.
Yeah, smart guy too. I mean, especially going to Harvard. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Been there for a while too.
yeah, but yeah, where I was gonna ask, where can people find you on social media these days?
I mean, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere.
What's your at, just so people can give you a follow?
Let's just put it in the. We'll put it in the description below.
I'll put it in the description, and yeah, I'll put it in the description for Spotify, YouTube, all that. I was gonna ask,
Perfect.
so even funny thing was when I read Bobby, he thought it'd be a good idea to get you on. Who would you like to see me interview at some point?
That's a good question. Oh, there's do you know Michael Hakkarainen?
I actually, funny you say that. I interviewed him back in June. It was a funny interview. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. He's definitely good. He's also European, so I'm sure he got a lot of stories too. But
we
okay,
did have
you
a good
did him.
interview. Yeah, we had a good interview. Yeah, talked
Yeah,
about
yeah.
his steps and everything.
No, that's awesome. Brings a lot of memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I gotta think of that one.
No, that's fine. You can always get it. You can always get it to me at a
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah.
point. That's fine. But yeah, Afan, thanks for coming on. It was a good chat.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no problem. Huge thanks to Yegor Afanasyev for joining the program. Like I said, I had a good time talking with him. It was a lot of fun. Some good stories that were shared about my guy Igor bike, and just about some of the things that happened in Russia, especially the fact that he got to play with a KHL club that is held in very high regard. So I think that's always rather cool in my opinion. So yeah, I'm excited for also next episode. I'm not gonna give away too much about it, but I'm looking forward to the guest that I'm going to have. It's going to be a good one. And yeah, as always, my podcast Instagram is PK's Place Podcast. Make sure you go check it out. Talk, like, follow, share. That's greatly appreciated. My personal Instagram is p.hughes15. Everyone go check it out. Go like my most recent photo from my Halloween party. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. And also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, honestly, wherever you get your podcast, I think if you're able to if you're able to follow, turn the bell on for notifications, get notified every time I drop a new episode, Apple Podcasts or any other ones, because I know Spotify doesn't do this, leave a 5-star review. It honestly greatly helps me and it helps the podcast. The more people we can get to listen to it, and the more 5-star reviews and more things of that nature that we can get. And also, check out the YouTube also, which will be in the link, which will be in the same link that if you're on my Instagram, that you can find all of it. The YouTube version will go up within a day or two of whenever episodes are released. So for example, you're listening to this on a Thursday, it's going to be up there Friday or Saturday. And for usually episodes that are on Mondays, it's up there usually Tuesday or Wednesday. So I've been getting better with that. I've been trying to make sure that I can get the YouTube version as available, because I know there's people that want to, see these pearly blue eyes or just see the guests. I think that it's also a very nice tool to have in that aspect. So yeah, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you next week.
Baby